"Look, guys, a moat," Ruth Rose said. "And a drawbridge," cried Josh. Walker pulled up in front of the gate. The kids hopped out with their packs. "I have to get back to my boat," Walker said. "Sis should be here soon. Have fun." He waved and sped back through the trees. Up close, the castle towered over the kids. The battlements on top reminded Dink of giants' teeth. Josh pushed the gate and it creaked open. They peered down into the moat. Ruth Rose let out a laugh. "Look, guys." The bottom of the empty moat was planted with flowers. "Hey, guys," Josh called. "Check this out." He had crossed the drawbridge and was standing in front of an enormous wooden door. He tugged on the handle, but the door wouldn't budge. How the heck does Wallace get in? Just then, Dink heard a car. A red Volkswagen convertible zoomed up to the gate. The horn tooted, and a hand waved wildly. "It's Wallace," shouted Dink. Chapter 2. "Welcome," Wallace yelled. She looked the same as Dink remembered. Happy smile, curly brown hair, mischievous eyes. "What do you think of Moose Manor?" she asked. "Isn't it fun?" "I love it," said Ruth Rose. "It's awesome," Josh said. Wallace laughed. "It is something, isn't it? Help me with these groceries and I'll take you on the grand tour." The entrance to the castle turned out to be a regular-sized door around the corner. Wallace and the kids carried bags of groceries into a large room. Dink saw a washer and dryer, wooden pegs for hats and coats, and a pile of sneakers and boots. "This is my mudroom," Wallace said. "The kitchen is through here." She shoved open another door with her hip. Dink had to tip his head back to see the high ceiling. The usual kitchen stuff was there, with a long wooden table in the middle. A black chandelier hung over the table. "This place is humongous," Dink said. "That's why I love it," Wallace said. "Let's put the food away and I'll show you around." The kids quickly emptied the bags while Wallace put the milk and ice cream into the refrigerator. "Okay, the tour begins in the royal living room," Wallace said. "Follow me." She led them into the biggest living room Dink had ever seen. The first thing Dink noticed was the chandelier hanging right over his head. It was as big as Wallace's car. A marble fireplace took up almost one whole wall. The mantel was dark wood, carved with all kinds of animals. "This place is amazing," Dink said. "Geez," Josh breathed, peering into the fireplace. "You could burn a whole tree in here." Wallace flopped onto a pile of floor cushions. "Some winter days I wish I could," she said. "It gets mighty cold up on this cliff." "How old is this place?" Ruth Rose asked, peering up at the tall stone walls. "Pretty old," Wallace said. "It was built in the 1930s by a movie star named Emery Scott." "Awesome," Josh said. "What happened to him?" Dink asked. "Well," Wallace raised her eyebrows and lowered her voice. "According to the town gossip, he died suddenly, right here in the castle. In fact, sometimes I think I hear his ghost." The kids stared with open mouths. Then Dink laughed. "Come on, you're just kidding, right?" "Why? Don't you believe in ghosts?" Wallace asked with a grin. "No way," they all yelled. "Well," Wallace stood up, "maybe Emery will introduce himself when he's ready. In the meantime, why don't I show you your rooms?" The kids grabbed their packs and followed Wallace up a wide stone staircase to the second floor. At the top of the stairs was a dim hallway with several doors. Wallace pointed to one. "That's my room. Ruth Rose, yours is there, and I've put you boys together right across the hall." Wallace tapped on a narrow door at the end of the hall. "This one leads up to the roof." Dink opened the door to their bedroom. Like the rooms downstairs, the ceiling was high. A blue carpet covered the stone floor. The twin beds had bright red covers. Dink went to the window and looked outside. All he could see were pine trees. "Where's the ocean?" he asked. "On the other side," Wallace said. "Why don't you settle in, then come down for lunch?" Ruth Rose went to her room. Dink and Josh dumped their packs on their beds. "This place is so cool," Josh said, wandering.